Hi, this is Ricky at Dwell Design in LA. I'm here with Peter from Logical Homes. Hi, Peter.
Good morning.
Can you tell me a little about yourself and how you got started with this company?
Well, I'm an architect, trained as an architect for the last 15 years, and we started a prefabricated home company not long ago in response really to the economic climate in the U.S. and catapulting cost of construction before everything really went in the tank. Trying to find an alternative way of building things, less expensively but not sacrificing the quality. So we started to explore the use of cargo containers, shipping containers as a basic building block. And we actually did a few homes. One of them was the first one in the United States. It's a two-story home that's approved by the Uniform Building Code. So it's a legal one. There are a few out there that aren't legal, but this is the first official one. And all the success we gained from that project was then started to apply to other projects. And we realized that there was quite a market out there and a niche that we could fill. So what we did was we created this prefabricated home company called Logical Homes. They're completely recycled. We take them right off the dock. They're mold-proof, fire-proof. They'll last probably about 200 years at minimum. They're easily transported. They're able to take them on our highway system. We can put them on a ship. You can pick them up in a helicopter. And the buildings are all put together really in a factory and then just delivered out to a site and plugged in. So what we're doing is trying to be environmentally conscious, not just with the cargo containers, but every other material that's in the building is energy conscious and sustainable, carries an awareness of just being sustainable. And the big package is to deliver an affordable, prefabricated, sustainable building to the masses, not to just the folks who can afford a building that's $400 a square foot. Okay, most of these projects are coming in around $150 a square foot, which in California, especially Los Angeles, is almost unheard of. And we just launched the company 3 months ago, and we're pretty excited.
That sounds great, Peter. Can you tell me a little about the materials that are actually used in the cargo containers?
Okay. In addition to the containers, first of all, we insulate them with a ceramic-based insulating paint. It's the same stuff that they use on the space shuttle. We also use recycled blue jean denim insulation. Right. We use low flush toilets and energy conscious appliances. Everything's Energy Star. We've got LEED certification, solar panels on the roof. We have spray foam insulation roofs, low volatile organic compound paint. We use bamboo floors. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's not just a building that's all about cargo containers, even though that steals all the headlines. Everything else in the project is about sustainability as well.
Can you talk a little about which credits in the LEED program these cargo containers qualify for? Just some examples.
Okay, right now what we do is we bring the project to the point where they have to be tied into the site in order to be LEED certified. So we've got them at about this 90, they're firing on all cylinders, about 90% of it, but then the rest of it ties into the specific site. Once we get the specific site, then the project will certify as a silver or a gold LEED certified project. But we can't get it certified until it's on a property. And if they're prefabricated, I can have a building and it's complete in our lot or in our facility, but until it goes onto a site, it's really not certified by LEED.
All right. And where are you getting a lot of these cargo containers from? Like, which docks are you finding these cargo containers?
Well, the bulk of them come right here from the port, in the Port of Long Beach, and we've got other facilities where we manufacture all around the United States. And these containers, one of the wonderful things about them is they're just ubiquitous. I mean, we find them everywhere. No matter where you're at a port, you're going to find containers in surplus because of the economic downturn here. I think we have such a trade imbalance with China that there are millions and millions of containers sitting in the U.S. that are just not being used. And if we go inland, you're going to find plenty of containers as well because they're easily transported by a truck to just about anywhere. So if you're in St. Louis or you go to Chicago, even though you're not next to one of the major oceans or major ports, you're going to find containers there as well. So they're easily transported, and there's really no limits to where we can go. Now, in the United States, we're getting calls from every corner of the country. We've been contacted just twice this week by a couple of folks in Argentina. A company in France is trying to do a partnership with us. Russia, I met with a bunch of diplomats from Russia this week. So it's a global thing. We stumbled onto something quite wonderful. It started out as a local endeavor, trying to think locally, but it turned into a act globally. You know, it turned into reverse. Usually it's act locally, think globally, but in our case, it sort of worked in reverse, and it's really working out nicely.
Yeah, well, that's a great use of cargo containers that are just sitting there. Can you share with us just a little about the price ranges of these cargo containers? What do they go for in the market?
Okay. Well, we have a range of homes here, 12 different models, ranging from 160 square feet, which is tiny, on up to over 4,000 square feet. And that one's a 5-bedroom house. The other is like a little studio. And the costs range from anywhere from $79,000 up to $500,000. But the big number that folks like to hear about is, what is the cost per square foot? And we have some down as low as $136 a square foot, but most of them hang around the $130 per square foot range. The nice thing is that we're not just limited to doing residential projects. All the wonderful things that we've learned and gained from working with this material, we're now able to apply to commercial buildings, educational buildings, multifamily projects, and the sky's the limit. And when you start to work in a larger scale, the cost per square foot actually starts to come down more because there's an economy of scale and volume that you work with. So that $150 per square foot is a really good number, and there won't be too many surprises with that one. Yeah. But we're able to achieve less, which is really fun as well.
Can you share with us some exciting projects that you're working on right now? This is am I correct that the company has just recently launched not too long ago, and you guys are working on some projects? Can you share with us some of the projects you're working on?
Yeah. The focus of what you see here is single-family residential, but when you move down to the end of the booth, you'll see that we've got hotel projects, we've got a market and educational center, we've got a project we just finished with Red Bull energy drinks for their FMX, their motorbike riding guys, these trick bike riders. But the most exciting project we're working on right now is a hotel in Manhattan Beach, and it's not far from the ocean, and it's called Bamboo, and it's approximately 30 containers. And that project is really, it's just really exciting to be able to do something in your backyard. Our office is in Manhattan Beach, and that's where we're located. And we seem to do things in every other beach community except for Manhattan Beach. But now we're working on a super environmentally conscious. I mean, it's environmentally conscious on steroids, this hotel. It's a boutique hotel, and that's the focus. That's an energy conscious and environmentally conscious place to visit when you come to Manhattan Beach. And part of the focus is we're trying to scale back the parking. When you get there, you're able to rent a smart car or one of the little Mini Coopers. And if we can even avoid that, every room comes with its own 2 bicycles. So you get a free bicycle to ride up and down the Strand. So these projects are more than just buildings. They have impact, social impacts in the neighborhoods and how people live. And that's really the major focus of what we're doing. We're trying to plant a seed for some really wonderful things to happen. We know we can put up buildings. We've done that already. But now we've got the opportunity to affect people in a really positive manner. And that's our mission.
All right. And I see you have some models here showcasing. Do you have anything to say about them? Like, you want to share with us about these models here?
Sure. What we were faced with when we first started doing these projects is most folks had no idea what a cargo container-based building looked like. And you can show them pictures all day long, but most of them they don't have the ability to visualize it 3-dimensionally. So the minute you start to build things 3-dimensionally, like a model, all of a sudden they get it. They say, okay, yeah, I can understand it now. I see it 3D, there's the little door, there's the little bed. So it's really about communicating an idea. And unfortunately, sometimes in the green world, people have these wonderful ideas, but they're just not articulated properly. They're just not communicated properly to the folks who would use them and the people who would purchase all these things. So we try to knock down that barrier of miscommunication, and this is one of those tools. In addition to this, you're going to find here on the showroom floor for Target, we've actually constructed a cargo container-based building for them, and they're displaying all their work, and most people come by and don't even know it's a cargo container. So it's almost like going to purchase a car, and you go there, rarely will folks buy a car off of the internet. They always want to go there and kick the tires. So here you're able to come here, see the renderings, see the models, and then go see the real thing. And once that happens, it really, I think, solidifies any doubts that folks have are gone. And they're able to say, yes, this is a valid, reasonable, and legitimate way to build for the future.
All right. Well, thank you, Peter. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Good luck to Builderoo.
This is Ricky at Builderoo TV. Thanks for watching us. This is Builderoo, making green easy.